Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to a brand spanking new episode of FYC. This is the one we've been waiting for, our final Oscar predictions in all 23 categories. So get your pens and your Oscar ballots ready because we are going to decide once and for all who will win in each of these 23 categories this Sunday, March 27th, for the 94th Annual Academy Awards. Yes, I'm excited. We are all excited, and that includes the amazing Perri Nemiroff and the mighty Jeff Snyder, who is smiling this morning. Of course he is, because we are closing in on those Oscars this coming Sunday. Perri, are you as excited as I am, or is it?
I am so excited. It's about time. It's about time. It feels like it's been a very long season, and I am looking forward to these conversations winding down and handing out some statues.
Excellent. Jeff, how about you?
I am very excited for this year. I love the momentum of the season. I'm glad it's finally over, but Sunday, I'm looking forward to it.
See, ladies and gentlemen, this is how Jeff Snyder gets very, very excited. So, just so you know, this is very unusual. But Perri, before we get started, I understand that we kind of have we want to get started with a very, very important question.
Yes, we've got a question from Tommy here. In the vein of Siskel and Ebert, of the 120 nominees, what is the one nominee who will cause you to jump out of your seat, cheer for, and fist pump the air if their name was called winner on Sunday night?
Okay, who wants to take this first? Jeff, how about you go first on this one?
I will take this first, and I'll tell you what the name is. You ready?
Let's hear it.
It's three names. Paul Thomas Anderson.
For
anything. The guy hasn't won an Oscar yet. Give him an Oscar. Maybe a screenplay nomination I'd be excited for in an original screenplay.
I mean, that is a great question. Perri, what's your answer to this?
You guys probably know my answer.
It's what my answer is probably, right? Oh, no. I know what your answer is.
I don't know about that. My answer is in the Best Actress category, and we'll revisit this later in the show, but I will be very, very happy if Kristen Stewart's name is called.
Well, okay, great answer. Also a great answer. I'm saving my answer for the very, very last category that we're going to cover today, and that is not Best Actor like it was last year at the Oscars. It is Best Picture. I think you all know. I mean, come on, we talked about this many times on FYC already, and this is the movie that I've been championing now for, let's see, it's now March from January 2021, 14 months, and that is CODA for Best Picture. That movie wins, and I think it will, but maybe we don't. Maybe we may change our minds by the end of the show when we get to Best Picture category. But let's just get started with Best Original Screenplay. We're going to start with a good one here. The nominees are Belfast, Licorice Pizza, King Richard, Don't Look Up, The Worst Person in the World. Perri, what's taking it?
So for this one, I'm going to stick with Belfast. I think this is going to be Kenneth Branagh's one award to win. And while I think Belfast has some chances in other categories, I think this is his best shot right now as a win.
Okay, Jeff, what do you think?
I will reluctantly go with Belfast as well. I think that this is a very competitive category. I think almost any of these movies could win, but because I don't anticipate Belfast winning anything else, and I do think that the Academy will want to reward Kenneth Branagh for this film, I will say Belfast.
Okay, I'm going to say Belfast too. And Jeff, look, Paul Thomas Anderson does have a chance because Licorice Pizza did win the BAFTA award, and the Writers Guild Award went to Don't Look Up, but Belfast was not even nominated. So the biggest competitor here for the Writers Guild wasn't nominated there, but I do think that Belfast will be the award that Kenneth Branagh takes home. Let's move on to Best Adapted Screenplay, where the nominees are The Power of the Dog, CODA, Lost Daughter, Dune, Drive My Car. Jeff, what do you think for Adapted Screenplay?
I'm going to go with CODA here. I just feel like they're not going to give Jane Campion two individual awards, right, with Best Director and this. I think CODA's been coming on strong, and I think that the Academy is going to want to honor Sean Hayter somehow.
Okay. Well, okay. Perry.
This isn't the best way to start an argument, but you guys will be able to convince me otherwise in this category. But I'm sticking with my prediction that The Lost Daughter could actually win something here. I agree with Jeff. I don't necessarily think they're going to give Jane Campion 2 Oscars, and I do think CODA has a very good shot at winning. But I don't know. Not. I get pun not intended. I'm not writing off The Lost Daughter. Like I feel like it's got a real chance, and I think that Maggie Gyllenhaal has a lot of support behind her right now, and she's got a real chance here.
Okay, first of all, Perry, I mean, I completely agree with you. The Lost Daughter does have a lot of momentum. It won 3 Spirit Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Adapted Screenplay. It also won the Directors Guild Award for Best First Feature. So Maggie Gyllenhaal does have a whole lot of support behind her. But CODA did win the Writers Guild Award, which is a great boon. But Power of the Dog, which won the Critics' Choice Award, and The Lost Daughter, neither of those 2 movies were nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, and that's where CODA won. Having said that, I am betting on Sean Heder for CODA in this. I agree with Jeff. I completely see this award going to Maggie Gyllenhaal. If that happens, I'll be completely happy because I think she absolutely deserves it. But I think this is a night where even though CODA just has 3 nominations, I think it's going to do very well with those 3 nominations. And again, CODA is riding a very, very good wave right now. The timing is really perfect. Everyone is talking about it. It's the little movie that could. And of course, it is a movie that we all love. So Jeff is going with CODA here. I'm going with CODA here. Perry, are you cool with going with CODA for the sake of this FIC?
I very much am.
Okay, well, CODA is our choice, so make sure you mark your ballot if you are marking your ballot as you're watching along with this FYC. Let's move on to live action short now, where the nominees are The Long Goodbye, Ala Kachu, The Dress, Please Hold, and On My Mind. Perry, what do you think for live action short?
So I'm a little torn on this one right now. I think I'm going to wind up going with The Dress, which is fantastic and has a phenomenal lead performance. And I think what's kind of tipping the scale for me on that one, and admittedly, like I didn't get to moderate a Q&A for every single one of them, but I did for The Dress. And that room was pretty full, and the enthusiasm that crowd had for the director and the lead actress being in that room, I don't know. It just signaled to me that there is a lot of support behind that movie. And also it's a downright excellent short film. The other one that I am keeping in mind right now, actually, I mean, there's so many here. Please Hold is another one that could get a lot of support too. It's got like a Black Mirror type vibe to it, and it's incredibly effective. Take and Run is great too. The Long Goodbye is the Riz Ahmed one, and sometimes, you know, when you've got a very familiar name like that behind a film, and also like it's very good. I'm committing to The Dress. I'm sticking with it.
Okay,
I think
Jeff,
it deserves it, and it will get it.
Jeff?
Whether it's white and gold or blue and black or whatever, I'm going to pick The Dress as well.
I am also picking The Dress. I think that's the strongest film of the bunch here. I also do like The Long Goodbye, but The Dress is the choice. So dress up for that one. Let's move on to documentary short, where the nominees are The Queen of Basketball, 3 Songs for Benazir, Audible, When We Were Bullies, and Lead Me Home. Jeff, what's taking documentary short?
God, I have no idea. I haven't seen any of these, but I'm going to go with The Queen of Basketball.
Okay. All right. Perry?
The Queen of Basketball has a really good shot. I think it's very effective, and you know, her Lucy Harris's like joyful nature to her throughout that documentary is very heartening and inspiring. I think I'm leaning towards Lead Me Home, though. And I actually think Lead Me Home is also the best documentary of the bunch, just in terms of its construction and how the narrative is presented there. It's about homelessness on the West Coast. And I think there's a whole bunch of very powerful individual stories in terms of the people that the film focuses on. But then its choice to incorporate some, you know, like wider shots showing what's going on in the city around these people and the abundance that these people have. It reminds you that like we can change this. We all have so much, and if we stop and recognize that these are human beings who need help and support, and it's often an unfair system that they're caught up in. I don't know. It was a very hard documentary to watch, but I found that there was something really inspiring and motivating about it in the end. So I think that's going to catch on with a lot of people.
I think the Queen of Basketball is the one. That's the one that I like the most. It is also the one that I feel like, just from what I've seen elsewhere, not just on Gold Derby, but from other Oscar pundits, that they are going with the Queen of Basketball. I mean, there are a few different choices that could take it here, but I'm leaning into the noise here, and that is for the Queen of Basketball. Perri, I hope you're down with that.
I do think that Perri could be right, though. Like if it's not Queen of Basketball, I think the one that Perri chose will win.
So I'll have Lead Me Home as my number one, but Queen of Basketball will be number two. So if both of you are going with Queen of Basketball, I can get behind that for
I think it's one of those two.
list.
One of those two. But yeah, let's go with basketball.
One of those two. Pick one, Jeff.
Basketball.
Basketball. All right. Queen of
Basketball
Basketball it is. Okay. Moving on to Best Animated Short, where the nominees are Box Ballet, Affairs of the Heart, Bestia, The Windshield Wiper, and Robin. Jeff?
I know the conventional wisdom here is Robin. I think that is definitely the favorite, but I'm going to go with The Windshield Wiper.
Okay. Perri?
The Windshield Wiper didn't quite work for me. So I feel like I knew it was being considered the front runner, but the moment I watched it and it didn't quite come together for me as I was expecting, I kind of knocked it down my list. And I watched Robin after. So I watched all of these almost back to back over the course of like 2 days. And Robin was so incredibly like warm and loving and refreshing. I feel like if any Academy voter does what I did and watches it in the mix of all these other films, it was just so nice to have something like, kid friendly and like lighthearted, but with value and meaning to it. And it's beautifully animated. The songs are delightful. It's got a great voice cast. I feel like Robin is like a runaway win in this category.
I completely agree. Robin it is for animated short. Let's move on to international
Don't
feature.
listen to me, guys. I didn't watch the shorts.
Okay. All right. Well, Robin, I agree. I feel like that was the most accessible
Robin
one.
it is.
And also the one that people are, talking about, all the pundits. Okay. Moving on to international feature, where the nominees are Drive My Car, The Worst Person in the World, Flee, The Hand of God, and Lunana. Okay. Jeff, what's taking international feature? I think we all know the answer to this one.
Oh,
Maybe
boy.
not.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Go to Perri.
Perri. All right, Perri.
I think I'm going to give you the answer you're expecting, Mance.
Yes.
It's Drive My Car.
Drive My Car.
You don't get a nomination for Best Picture and a nomination for Best Director and then not win Best International Feature.
Well, you also Drive My Car it won the BAFTA Award, the Critics' Choice Award, the Spirit Award, and the Golden Globe. All right, Jeff, what's your answer here? International feature. Jeff.
I'll say Drive My Car. Sure.
Right,
I don't think that's
it
a lock.
is.
I do not think that's a lock.
Okay, I think that is absolutely a lock.
Because okay, I get the picture thing, but like nomination, that's coming from the director's branch. It's not like the entire membership voted, for that director nomination. So I don't know.
No, just a little extra backing.
Yeah. Little extra backing, yes. All right, Drive My Car is our choice for international feature. Documentary feature is in the next category, where the nominees are Summer of Soul, Flee, Attica, Ascension, and Writing with Fire. Perri, what's taking doc feature?
I still think it's coming down to Flee and Summer of Soul. I think both have an equally good shot. That means from that point on, I am going with my heart, and I'm saying Flee.
Okay, Jeff, what's taking documentary
Wow,
feature?
Perri. Stealing my thunder, because I am also going to predict Flee. I just feel like Questlove found this movie in a box, shot a couple interviews, and edited it together. Sorry.
Okay. Jeff, this is where I think you need to take your personal feelings about the film.
No, that is how I predict. This is how I do it, and I'm going with Flee. It's just a far superior movie. I don't know how people can't see this.
Well, guess what? Everyone else went with Summer of Love. It won the Producers Guild Award, the BAFTA Award, the Critics' Choice Award, Spirit Award, 2 Sundance Awards, and Attica won the Directors Guild Award for Best Documentary. But the momentum is so behind Summer of Soul. I love Flee. I think it's a great movie. I think it absolutely deserves to win. But we are predicting what will win here. And I think what will win is Summer of Soul. But if both of you insist that Flea will win, the majority rules. I get it. That's the way we roll. But I think you were both wrong. I think Summer of Soul is the movie that will win Best Documentary Feature.
I understand looking at all of Summer. I think Summer of Soul is great, by the way, for the record. I understand looking at all of its other wins and thinking that is a sign that it's going to take the Oscar. But when someone is filling out that Oscar ballot and they look at Best Animated Feature and they're like, no, it's going to Encanto. And then they look at Best International Feature. No, it's going to Drive My Car. Like, it got 3 nominations. It is an Academy Awards first. I feel like that is just going to boost a chance to win one of the 3, and its best possible shot is in this category.
Perri, I think you're reading too into that. I don't think that I don't think the majority of Academy voters are going to look and go, Flea is up for documentary feature and animated feature and international feature. Well, this will go to that. That'll go to that. I'll vote for documentary feature for Flea here. I don't think that's how the majority, not everyone, but the majority of Academy voters are going to look.
I think you're right about that thinking, Mance. I don't know that that's how they think about it, but I do think that the international block of voters here are going to could at least carry Flea to a win.
Okay, so Jeff, you're saying Flea, right?
Yes.
Okay, Perri, you're saying Flea?
I am. For the record, though, we think about that line of thinking with other things. Like, they're going to give Jane Campion Best Director, but that means she's not going to win screen. It's like a very similar way of
it's not
approaching the vote.
I don't think that it's the same way. I'm not looking at Best Director and Best Feature.
I'm saying it's similar.
It's slightly similar. I don't think it's similar enough where you can compare apples to apples in this case. I think Summer Soul is going to win, but if you two are both saying Flea, then Flea's the winner here.
I just think we got to take some swings. It would be so boring if we sat here and talk.
I don't even think it's a big swing. I think it's a very realistic possibility.
I think it's a realistic possibility, but I think you're both wrong. But
Summer Soul's a heavy favorite.
If you think Flea, then Flea it is. I'm checking off Flea for documentary feature. I think it's Summer of Soul, but majority rules here, so I got to respect the rules. Moving on to original song, where the nominees are No Time to Die, Encanto, King Richard, Belfast, and 4 Good Days. Those are not the names of the songs. Those are the movies. So, Jeff, what's winning original song here?
I think it's No Time to Die. Yeah, no.
Okay, that's not a very convincing argument there. Perri, what do you think?
I do think it's going to come down to No Time to Die and Encanto, but I think there is no stopping Encanto at this point. So that one is getting my pick.
So you think Encanto is going to win Best Original Song? If that happens, then Lin-Manuel Miranda will be an EGOT, which means he'll have won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. And I think that could be sort of an influence there. And Encanto is a favorite in another category to win. I think No Time to Die, but even though Jeff picks it, that's not a very enthusiastic. So I'm willing to keep this conversation going here between No Time to Die and Encanto. Jeff,
how do we give it to like the inferior Encanto song? Like if everyone's saying this, but everybody's sing this hit Bruno, it's like this is an afterthought.
Inferior maybe on the scale of like a popularity contest, but there's even though we don't talk about Bruno is topping the charts and it's all over TikTok, I feel like there's a whole bunch of other songs in that soundtrack that are absolutely exceptional.
Do Disney animated movies, do they typically win this category, Scott? You would know this better than I.
No, I mean, I would not say that they typically win. They've won, but I don't know if it's fair to say, oh, well, it's not like Best Animated Feature where most of the time, not all the time, it does go to a Disney or Pixar movie. It
just doesn't feel like a Hakuna Matata level banger. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stick with No Time to Die.
You're sticking with No Time to Die. I mean, because you got to Be Alive from Beyonce. Like, wow, how cool would that be for her to win an Oscar here? You got Down to Joy by Van Morrison for Belfast, and you got Somehow You Do, which is from a Sundance movie. Diane Warren, who's been nominated more times than Well, I was going to say Walt Disney, but that's not true. Walt Disney was nominated way more times. I think this is actually a tough category. I think this is actually a tough category. I think it's going to be between No Time to Die and Encanto. I mean, I think that it would be really, really cool when Lin-Manuel Miranda wins and he gets the EGOT, badge. That would be pretty cool. I feel like No Time to Die is just more talked about, and I mean, I think this is a really, really tough call between those two movies. No Time
Billie
to Die.
Eilish has a lot of power behind her too.
Yeah, Billie Eilish does. And that's why I actually went with No Time to Die. And Jeff is going with No Time to Die.
Fair enough.
Perri, I think Encanto has a really good chance. If it wins, I'd be totally down for that. But for the sake of this argument, we got to go with 2 out of 3. That is No Time to Die for original song.
All right, let's hit the super chat from Wiley real quick. I know he won't win, but still rooting for my boy / favorite movie of the year, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom. Love you guys. You bring me happiness with all you do. Thanks, Wiley.
Thanks,
Your
Wiley.
support always brings me great happiness, so thank you.
We're happy you're happy, Wiley. Moving on to score, where the nominees are Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, again, Parallel Mothers, and Power of the Dog. Perri, what's taking score?
I've been going back and forth on this one, but I think I'm landing on Dune, and I'm like a little. I think it does have a legitimate chance of winning this award, and it's got a good chance.
Okay,
but
Jeff,
sometimes I fear a little when I have something so fresh in my mind because I just rewatched Dune the other night and it's just so damn good.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm going Dune.
Jeff, hello.
Yeah, I know. I like. What? This is another tough category. I don't think it's necessarily Dune. I was kind of going back and forth between Encanto and The Power of the Dog, because even though I didn't like The Power of the Dog, I can acknowledge that score was really good. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm going to go with Jermaine Franco for Encanto here.
Okay, well, Johnny Greenwood, this is his second nomination for Power of the Dog after Phantom Thread. Hans Zimmer, who was nominated for Dune, he won the Academy Award for Best Score for The Lion King, but that movie came out in 1994, and he was nominated 11 other times, including this one for Dune. My gut feeling is that it is for Hans Zimmer for Freudian slip there. Hans Zimmer for Dune. That was always sort of my choice, although I definitely did like Johnny Greenwood's score for Power of the Dog, but I'm going with Dune. Perri's going with Dune. Majority rules here. Dune is the winner here for best score. Moving on to visual effects. The nominees are Dune, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, No Time to Die, and Free Guy. Perri, what's taking VFX?
It's over. It's Dune.
Dune it is. Yes. Jeff?
Dune.
This is definitely a Dune category. I agree. Let's also look at Best Sound, where the nominees are Dune, West Side Story, No Time to Die, The Power of the Dog, and Belfast. Jeff, what about sound?
Dune.
Yes. Perri?
Dune.
Yes. Okay. Moving on. Let's move on to makeup and hairstyling, where the nominees are Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Coming to America, The House of Gucci. Perri?
I'm going with The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Okay, Jeff?
I am also going with The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
I am also going with The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Linda Dowds, who is nominated for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, she's already a 3-time Emmy winner for Grey Gardens, The Kennedys, and True Detective. So we all agree. All right, yay on hair and makeup and hairstyling for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Let's move on.
We got a quick super chat we're going to throw in right here from the Bennyverse. Love this show. My friends and I made a bet on Best Picture. He is convinced The Power of the Dog is going to win Best Picture. He let me bet the field. I think this will be an easy $20 win for me.
It will be.
It will be. Yeah, it will be.
We'll confirm that for you soon enough.
Thanks, Ben. Moving on to costume design. The nominees are Dune, Cruella, West Side Story, Nightmare Alley, and Cyrano. Jeff, costume design.
Cruella.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Cruella is, come on. It's a movie about a costume designers. Come on. Yes. And I loved Cruella. That movie was awesome. Okay. So that's costume design for Cruella. Production design. The nominees are Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story, Nightmare Alley, and Dune. Perri.
Dune.
Jeff.
Oh boy.
Huh.
Huh?
I think I want to go with Nightmare Alley here.
Okay. I like your big swing there. I love the production design of Nightmare Alley, but I think this is another Dune category all the way. Jeff, you cool with that?
It probably is. They're really all going to Dune, right? All these.
Well,
movies.
no, maybe not. But production design, we're going to say that it is. So moving on to the next category, which is editing. Editing for Tick, Tick, Boom, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Power of the Dog, and Dune. Perry, what about editing?
Guess.
Dune.
Dune.
Dune. Jeff?
Tick, tick, boom.
I would love for Jeff to be right.
Well, maybe Jeff is right because
How do you get an editing Oscar for a 3-hour movie that's half of a film?
it's 2.5 hours. And,
Whatever it is, it was boring and long.
The Ace Eddie Award, which is the awards for editing, Tick Tick Boom won for comedy, and King Richard won for drama. So I don't know if Dune is like really the one to beat here, because I actually think this is a really tough category.
They're giving a lot of awards already to Dune. Dune is not Titanic.
No way.
It's more divisive. So
no way. It's not. Dune is not. I wouldn't say Dune is divisive, but it's not. It's not Titanic. I don't know. I think King Richard and Tick Tick Boom are actually stronger contenders for editing than Dune. Perry, what do you think?
I'm sticking with Dune here. I understand it's a longer movie, but I think this is a case where the movie very much justifies its running time. One particular moment that's really sticking out in my head, though, just to further back my pick for editing, ultimately we've got score, production design. Like, there's one moment when Arrakis is being attacked and you've got Josh Brolin's character basically leading the charge against the enemy. And in that moment, it's just like a pitch perfect example of how the framing of the shot, how the timing of the editing, and also the swell of the score, like, they all come together so perfectly to completely define one of the most inspiring and like chill-inducing moments of the film. I don't know. There's just like so many beats like that where you could see every single like technical component of that production coming together in such a perfect sense, where they are just absolutely nailing the audience reaction that I think they're going for.
So I agree with you. My feeling for the technical stuff really leans into Dune, and I do think the editing is going to go to Dune, but Pamela Martin, who was nominated for King Richard, she was also nominated for Battle of the Sexes, which is also, a tennis movie, and The Fighter. So I think there is a lot of support for her in this category here. And like I said, she did win the Ace Eddie Award for best edited feature drama. But I do sort of feel like Dune is the bigger, film, more of an achievement. This is a really tough category. I would not be surprised, and I'd be very happy if King Richard wins. But I think I am going to pick Dune, and since Perry is also picking Dune, I think that's what we're going to go with here. Jeff, are you cool with that?
Yeah, of course. Listen, Dune's the default for sure.
All right, we got a super chat now from James. Love you guys talking Oscars. Hosting an Oscar party with little kids around. Adults are playing the ballots and kids are playing Oscar bingo. A lot of food to eat. I kind of want to play Oscar bingo too.
James, invite me. Where's my invite?
Yeah. Where's the bingo cards? Let us play too.
Sounds good, James. Let us know how that goes. Let's move on to cinematography, where the nominees are Dune, Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story, and Nightmare Alley. Jeff, what's winning cinematography?
This one is tough. This is a very close race between Dune and The Power of the Dog. Do they want to make history and give it to the first woman ever, Ari Wagner? I unfortunately don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to go with Greg Fraser for Dune.
Perry?
I would genuinely like to see either of those individuals win, and I think both are extremely deserving, but there's too much working in Dune's favor right now, just in terms of like the groundswell of technical support behind it, but also with Greg Fraser in particular, because And he's benefiting from the fact that his work in the Batman is also exceptional, and that movie is making a ton of money, and it's just putting his name in the spotlight more in a really positive way. So I am going Dune.
I'm going Dune as well. I definitely think the Batman factor could play in here because the movie crossed $300 million domestic while Academy voters were voting. And
I think you guys are. I mean, I get it, trying to find evidence to back up our show. I think the Batman thing is not a factor whatsoever.
It's not about finding evidence. Same thing I constantly repeat. Every single time you have one of these names or one of these titles out in the public in a positive manner, it just makes a voter more likely to think of them versus someone who is not in the spotlight as much.
I agree completely. And it could also work in the opposite way. I'll never forget when Eddie Murphy was nominated for Dreamgirls for supporting actor, and then in January, all the billboards came out for Norbit, which was an awful movie. And I think that was one of the reasons why. I think that's one of the reasons why he lost Best Supporting Actor to Alan Arkin for Little Miss Sunshine. I mean, I'll never be able to prove it, but that's my gut feeling. We're going with Dune for cinematography, Greg Fraser. Moving on to Best Animated Feature. The nominees are Raya and the Last Dragon, The Mitchells versus the Machines, Perri, Luca, Flea, and Encanto. Perri, what's winning? What is going to win animated feature?
You know how I feel about Mitchell's. I will say, though, one of the things that I am most looking forward to about the ceremony on Sunday is seeing a live performance of We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. So between that enthusiasm that I have and the fact that I think it's a runaway win for that movie, Encanto.
Okay, Jeff, what about you? Best animated feature?
I think it's going to go to the fourth best film in this category, and that's Encanto.
I think it's going to go to the second best film in this category, which is Encanto. Encanto did win the Producers Guild Award for Best Animated Feature. It won the BAFTA. It won the Ace Eddie Award. But Flea did win the Annie Award. So there's that. And it also won Best Animated Feature at the Toronto International Film Festival last September. But I think it's going to go to Encanto. Encanto is going to be the winner for Best Animated Feature. Moving on to Supporting Actor. Troy Kotsur, Cody Smith-McPhee, Kieran Hines, Jesse Plemons, J.K. Simmons. Perri, what's winning Supporting Actor?
It's all over. Troy Kotsur's got it in the bag, and he deserves it.
Yes, he does. Okay, Jeff, what's winning Supporting Actor?
J.K. Just kidding. Troy Kotsur.
Yes, it is definitely Troy Kotsur. Troy Kotsur, so far, he won the SAG Award, the BAFTA Award, the Critics' Choice Award. But Cody Smith-McPhee, just saying, he did win the Golden Globe Award. And the SAG winner did win the Oscar 18 out of 27 times here. But I think it's a slam dunk here for Troy Kotsur, supporting actor. Moving on to supporting actress. The nominees are Ariana DeBose for West Side Story, Anjing Ellis for King Richard, Kirsten Dunst, Power of the Dog, Jessie Buckley, yay, The Lost Daughter, Judi Dench for Belfast. Jeff, supporting actress goes to...
It goes to Ariana DeBose.
Yes, it does.
Thank you very much, Mister. Yes,
as it should. As it should.
As it should. Yes, Ariana DeBose won the SAG Award, the BAFTA Award, the Critics' Choice Award, the Golden Globe, and no question about it that Ariana DeBose is winning supporting actress. Let's move on to Best Actor, where the nominees are Will Smith for King Richard, Benedict Cumberbatch for Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield for Tick, Tick, Boom, Denzel Washington, the Tragedy, the Power of Macbeth, the Tragedy of Macbeth, and Javier Bardem for Being the Ricardos. Who is winning Best Actor? Perri, Nemiroff.
You'll never guess the name I'm about to say.
I'm gonna
Will Smith.
Will Smith. Yes, Jeff.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, this is Will Smith's year. Will Smith takes his first Academy Award and his third nomination, and Will Smith is the man for Best Actor.
Look, I think this is supposed to be a super sticker, but StreamYard doesn't let me see super stickers. So, Brett, I'll just say thank you for supporting the show and the channel, and that dog is adorable.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brett. Keep watching. Okay, moving on to Best Actress. The nominees are Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos, Kristen Stewart for Spencer, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Jeff, who is winning?
I'm going last here, Mance. I'm going last.
No,
It's
I
going to
picked
annoy
first.
me.
All right, Perri, I throw to you.
Fine, because my answer is obvious. I am standing my ground. I am not budging. I think this category is such a toss-up, even with Jessica Chastain's recent wins. I think votes are going to be all over the place, but I think all Kristen Stewart's really done is exude good vibes and enthusiasm for being part of award season. I think she is the heart and soul of that movie, even though there are so many excellent elements of that production all around her. I'm sticking with Kristen Stewart.
Jeff, who is winning? Who is winning?
I'm going last, Mance. There's 3 of us here. You're second.
Okay, well, I'm going. Listen, Perri, I hear what you're saying. I've loved Spencer since I saw it at Telluride. I think Kristen Stewart's performance was an absolute game changer, and she was a revelation in that film. And I say that's a bold statement because I already think that she is a phenomenal actor. But Jessica Chastain is like Will Smith. This is her year. She was nominated twice before, and she, regardless of how Jeff feels about the movie The Eyes of Tammy Faye, her performance in the film was a tour de force. And she did win the SAG Award. She won the Critics' Choice Award. I think the momentum here is behind Jessica Chastain. I love Kristen Stewart and Spencer. In another year, I would have gone with her. But if we are going to predict who will win, taking heart out of this, I'm going with Jessica Chastain.
Can I just make one more point to that, Mance? Because you brought up the SAG situation. So let's not forget, Kristen Stewart was not nominated for a SAG Award. And in previous episodes, we had discussed how her getting snubbed over there only increased the conversation around her. So even though I think there is great weight in a SAG win, I think that situation is a little confusing because Kristen Stewart wasn't even in the race to begin with, and she was getting the benefit of having many people talk about the snub from weeks prior.
But I agree with you, Perri, but that snub is why Kristen Stewart, I think that boosted her nomination here. That certainly boosted her getting nominated. As far as boosting the win, I think the fact, regardless of whether the fact that Kristen Stewart was not nominated for a SAG Award, Jessica Chastain won there, and that put her up there as a winner, not as a nominee. And that was solidified when she did win the Critics' Choice Award. I mean, look, it's not a guild, but it is a popular award show, the Critics' Choice Awards. 19 out of 27 times, the SAG winner for Best Actress went on to win Best Actress at the Academy Awards. Again, it's far from a perfect score, but I still think that Jessica Chastain, she's just a phenomenal actress. And this is her year. She is beloved in the industry. And I just think that, Jeff, you're shaking your head no.
Because right, I know that, like, I hate to, like, be that guy, but, like, you're, like, it's not true. It's, like, I went to lunch with somebody yesterday, and I was telling them about this, and I was like, yeah, people have been giving me crap for this, and they're like, oh, no, she's a nightmare. There's so many people who are nightmares that you guys have no idea.
Well, then who's winning Best Actress, Jeff? Who's winning? The question is who's winning, not who do you think will win, not where your heart is, not just you're being so supportive of Kristen Stewart or whoever else because they gave the greatest performance. Who is winning Best Actress? Now, who?
I'm going to tell you.
Who?
There's one movie out of all these nominees besides the shorts that I have not seen this year. Okay. And I am going to be queasy a little predicting it blind, but I'm going with Penelope Cruz for Parallel Mothers. I think that Penelope Cruz is going to pull out the win here somehow for her 7th collaboration with Almodovar. And I've said all year that something crazy was going to happen with this category. And I think that that's what it is.
I think this is our bet category. Like, I think we need to come to an agreement right now for FYC ballot's sake, but I feel like this is the bet of 2022.
God, I don't like any of these choices, even my own. First of all,
you're betting on a film or you're supporting a film that you didn't even see. I'm just going to say that.
That is true, but let me tell you what I'm really supporting here. Last year, everyone and their mother thought that Chadwick Boseman was going to win Best Actor. And who won? Anthony Hopkins. For what movie? Right. The Father. And who released The Father?
Sony Pictures Classics.
Classics, who also released Parallel Mothers. So these guys, they may not have a ton of nominations, but when they get one nomination that they really want to win, I feel like they can focus their efforts and try to get enough votes to get that win. And I think that is maybe what they did this year.
Okay, I saw The Father at Sundance in January of 2020. And when that movie was over, I was in the lobby at the Eccles Theater, and I went up to Michael Barker, the head of Sony Pictures Classics. And I told him in January of 2020 that movie is going to win Anthony Hopkins his Academy Award. And of course, 15 months later, because the Oscars were in April last year, that's what happened. So you were looking at a 15-month journey where Parallel Mothers was released by Sony Pictures Classics in December. I think it was a Cannes Film Festival movie. But also, I mean, I think Penelope Cruz gave one of her absolutely greatest performances in Parallel Mothers. I love that film.
Let me ask you this, man. Forget the Oscars. Who gave the best performance? Forget who's going to win, who's most beloved. Who gave the best performance in this category, in your honest opinion?
Kristen
Honest
Stewart.
opinion, between Nicole Kidman, Kristen Stewart, Olivia Colman, Penelope Cruz, and Jessica Chastain, I think the best performance was given by Jessica Chastain.
Okay.
I think she gave the best performance.
Okay.
I think that her movie is not as strong as Parallel Mothers, and I preferred Spencer over The Eyes of Tammy Faye. And I think, again, Kristen Stewart just really knocked it out of not just out of the park, out of the atmosphere with that performance. This is her first nomination. Jessica Chastain, I think this is her third.
Listen, I think we're at a stalemate here as far as who's going to win. But since I haven't seen the one that I'm voting for, I'm going to go with something that I've seen.
Okay.
And in that case, I will side with Perri. And I will say Kristen Stewart. I will say Kristen Stewart. I preferred her performance to Jessica Chastain's.
All right. Well, if you're saying Kristen Stewart and Perri is saying Kristen Stewart, then the answer here for the ballot is Kristen Stewart. I think you were both wrong.
Be so much better in other movies. She's a great actress. I loved her in Molly's Game. I loved her in Zero Dark 30, but I just don't think this is her best work.
I think you were both wrong. For the record, I think the winner will go to Jessica Chastain, but I lose. Majority rules, 2 out of 3. Best actress will go to Kristen Stewart. Oh man, I'm disappointed.
I'm reading all the comments right now, and they're hilarious.
I'm really disappointed. Very, very disappointed here. But you know, that is what makes this show great.
Something crazy is going to happen Sunday night, man. So it's not going to be chalk for all 4 acting winners. It's just not.
Well, look. I think Best Actress is the toughest category here.
It is.
So I think, you know, in addition to Best Picture, which is also going to be a tough category, I think Best Actress is going to be the one that I'm really going to be on, on the edge of my seat watching the winner of that one. And I hope you're right for the sake of everyone marking their ballots here on FYC. I hope you're both right, and I hope Kristen Stewart wins. And by the way, I hope Kristen Stewart wins because I think that she deserves it. She's awesome. But I love Jessica Chastain. She's one of my favorite actors. I thought that she was great in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Her performance, especially that final performance, her singing performance, that was her for your consideration moment. And I'm saying that on for your consideration. But you guys are saying Kristen Stewart, so that is the winner for Best Actress.
Anything in the world to see the breakdown of votes in this category after, because even though we're giving one actress the edge right now, I feel like these votes for every single one in this category is going to be mighty close.
Well, absolutely. I agree with that. And yeah, sure. I would love to see the votes, especially for Best Picture, but that's never, ever going to happen. Let's move on to Best Director. The nominees are Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Steven Spielberg for West Side Story, PTA, that's Paul Thomas Anderson for Licorice Pizza, and Ryusuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. I think this one is an easy one, Perri. Is it?
I'm sticking with Jane Campion, but it is, we'll get into this more, I guess, when we talk about Best Picture, but it would be quite the situation if this movie only walked away with 1 award.
It would be, wouldn't it? 12 nominations and 1 win. That would certainly be an interesting thing. Jeff, what do you think for Best Director? Obviously, I think I know.
I will go with Jane Campion as well.
All right, great. Jane Campion it is. I'm surprised it wasn't more of an easy choice here for Best Director, because Jane Campion won the Directors Guild Award all but 7 times since 1949. The winner of the DGA went on to win Best Director at the Oscars, including last year, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. So this will mark Jane Campion. She will be the 3rd woman to win Best Director after Catherine Bigelow and after Chloe Zhao, and the 2nd year in a row that a woman won Best Director. Moving on to Best Picture. This is it. Category number 23. This is the end of the road for us here at FYC. The final category and our final predictions before Sunday's Academy Awards. The nominees are Belfast, Power of the Dog, King Richard, CODA, West Side Story, Drive My Car, Dune, Licorice Pizza, Don't Look Up, Nightmare Alley. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to name the film and you're going to tell me yes or no or maybe. Okay? Nightmare Alley.
No.
No.
Okay. No. Don't Look Up.
No.
No.
Licorice Pizza.
No.
No.
Okay. I like it this way. Dune.
Maybe.
All right. Okay. This is why I'm doing this. Drive My Car.
No.
No. It should, but no. West Side Story.
Maybe.
Okay. This is why I'm doing this. CODA.
Yes.
All right. Okay. King Richard.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Power of the Dog. Duh.
No.
Oh. Maybe.
No.
Yeah. It's a maybe. Belfast. Maybe. All right.
No.
Okay. So we have one yes and a whole bunch of maybes. Let's go through this then. So looking at the movies that we picked as maybes: Belfast, Power of the Dog, King Richard, West Side Story, Dune, and one unqualified yes for CODA. What's winning here, Jeff?
We've been saying it all year long. I cannot think of pundits who are more in this film's corner than the 3 of us.
Yeah.
I am going to stick with CODA. I think it is heated up at just the right time. It has the momentum going into Oscar night. Power of the Dog has been clearly losing momentum. I think it's CODA.
Well, Perri, you brought up a really good point. Could it be possible, based on our choices here for this final predictions episode of FYC, that after 12 nominations, that Power of the Dog wins 1 Academy Award for Best Director and not Best Picture?
That is what my Gold Derby will reflect in the end. I think CODA is going to win. The Cali kid thinks CODA is going to win or wants CODA to win. And I think we've hit that point where it is the clear front runner.
Will we remember the lessons of this season, or next year when some movie that's just okay or a little divisive gets 13 nominations, or we're all going to be like, oh my God, like the number of nominations doesn't matter?
I agree with that.
I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think you could change that way of thinking from season to season, depending on how things progress, what people say in speeches. I think there are so many factors that go into this beyond just how many nominations did you get? Did you get nominations in the right category to predict your winning Best Picture?
Look at Irishman. Look at Mank. Like all these are like nomination beasts. They're juggernauts.
Yeah, Irishman was a big nominee.
If anything, I don't necessarily think that is a reason to point a finger at the amount of nominations something got. I think a lot of the things that you just named were movies that peaked at the beginning of the season, where there was so much noise and so much talk that when seasons go on, I feel like it just gives people more time to think and maybe grow tired of a certain conversation and switch to another project. And it gives other films the opportunity to come out of nowhere and make a big impression. Whereas those other films that we've been talking about since the very beginning basically just need to keep status quo and not make mistakes. And I think that winds up being one of the more difficult things apparently to do.
Well, so for the record, Power of the Dog with 12 nominations, 1 possible win, maybe 2, because Power of the Dog did win Best Picture at the Critics' Choice Awards, the BAFTA Awards, and what did win Best Drama at the Golden Globes. CODA won the Producers Guild Award and the SAG Award for Best Acting Ensemble, which is their equivalent of Best Picture. Belfast won the BAFTA Award for Best British Film. That's not Best Picture. That went to Power of the Dog. And it won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Cast, which is not Best Picture, which also went to Power of the Dog. I have been, just like you guys, singing the praises, no pun intended, for CODA for 14 straight months. That was my favorite movie of the year. Wouldn't it be great if the best movie of the year actually won the Academy Award for Best Picture? That's what I'm predicting here. But I don't think it is a sure thing. I still think it is not a two-way horse race. It is a three-way horse race between CODA and Power of the Dog. And I still say that if there is an aversion to a streaming service winning the Oscar for Best Picture, that could bode well for the chances of Belfast to take it instead of Power of the Dog or CODA. I know how you both feel about that, especially you, Jeff, but I still think that is a possibility. I still think some of the old fogies in the Academy might say, I'm not going to give Best Picture to a streaming service. Although I think that, and I know you do too, that Best Picture will go to a streaming service for the very first time in Academy Awards history, and it will go to a streaming service that we are predicting is not going to be Netflix, but instead will be Apple for CODA. So our choice for Best Picture, we all agree here, is CODA, but it is not a lock. It's going to be a very interesting way to end the Academy Awards. And I'm pretty sure that after what happened last year, the last award this coming Sunday will be Best Picture. I don't think they're going to mess with that again. So we got another thing here.
Another super chat from Spartan119. Hello, it's good to see ya. FYC is the best Oscars show. I look forward to this every year. Thanks for a great season, Perri, Scott, and Jeff. Scott is the GOAT. We have another one.
Well,
celebrate that, mans. But we also have another important one to hit from Wiley, who's back here. Question, guys, is FYC returning next year? Also, will there be an Oscars post show on FYC?
So the answer to both of those questions is one way or another, yes. FYC is returning next year, most likely on Perri's channel, but who knows? Maybe we can go bigger with FYC and actually turn it into something much, much bigger. And actually, you can help with that by making sure that you spread the love for SYC by sharing it on your social media platforms, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram. I don't know if you're still using MySpace, whatever knocks your socks off, but share FYC so more people find us and watch us and can see why we are the GOATs. As for whether there will be an Oscar post show on FYC, hell yeah. Of course there will be. We're not sure when exactly. It might be live on Sunday. We're not sure. We will post the information on our live Oscar post show on Twitter, on social media very, very shortly. But yes, absolutely, positively, 100% yes, we are doing an Oscar post show. So Perri and Jeff, before we sign off here, is there anything I could say to change your minds on documentary feature and best actress?
No.
Damn.
I feel like you guys know me well enough that usually the priority is that I like to win things. I feel like if in those two categories, my heart is overtaking that side of my brain, there's no stopping me.
Okay, Jeff.
I thought Summer of Soul was good. I just don't see international voters giving a crap about the Harlem Music Festival. I'm sorry.
I think the timing of that movie was great. But again, we already talked about that. The decisions have been made, and the decisions have been made on all 20 of these Oscar categories leading up to the 94th Academy Awards this coming Sunday, March 27th. Make sure you check your ballots off while you are watching the show. Make sure you follow us on social media. And again, make sure you share, especially this episode of FYC, on your social media platforms, because this is our final Oscar nominations. The polls are closed as we are recording this live on Wednesday. The polls closed yesterday. The winners have been decided. What are the winners going to be? How will our choices match up against the winners this coming Sunday? Make sure you watch us and share and spread the love and watch on Sunday and come back for our post show. And thank you everyone for watching FYC this season. Big thanks to Perri Nemiroff for saving FYC's fourth season and putting it on her channel. Make sure you subscribe to Perri's channel. Just hit that little subscribe button if you haven't already done it. Big shout out to Shari Nemiroff for retweeting my posts. The only time Shari Nemiroff ever retweets me is when I do something with Perri. So thank you for watching, Shari Nemiroff, and thanks for the love. And thank you, everyone. And until after the Oscars, woo, FY, see you later.